You don't need to be a technical genius to go out and buy yourself a set of components which you can assemble into a powerful personal computer. In this video, we'll show you how. The first thing you'll need is a flat, clear space to lay out your parts. You'll need a power supply and some tools. A couple of screwdrivers and a pair of pliers will usually do. Place the case on the bench and remove the cover. The first thing you will install is the speaker. Remove the motherboard from its packing and place it on its anti-static sheet. Next, identify where to position the metal support posts onto which you'll mount the motherboard and fix them in place. The power supply connected to the main socket will make the case a good way to earth yourself. You don't want static to zap your valuable components, but don't turn on the power just yet. Before installing the CPU, you should have the heatsink and CPU fan. Then, look for a locating notch or dot on this CPU socket. This should align with the corresponding marker on the CPU itself, to make sure you fit it the right way round. A zero insertion force socket makes installing the CPU an easy job and stops you damaging the pins accidentally. We'll be using all 4 SIM sockets to give us 60 megabytes of RAM in total. Each SIM card has locating holes which should snap easily onto studs on the SIM sockets. The jumpers on the motherboard may need to be adjusted for clock speed, but in any case, check them against the motherboard's manual. When all the components have been installed on the motherboard, add the plastic supports and gently lower the motherboard onto the mounting posts. Once located, slide the motherboard into place and screw it down. Don't screw it down too hard or it may get twisted. Then, check underneath for any stray screws or other components that might short circuit the motherboard. And finally, we're folding up the side flap of the case. Fit the 2 leads from the power supply onto the motherboard. When fitted correctly, the 2 black cables will sit next to each other. Now it's time to connect up the CPU fan, the indicator lights and the turbo switch if you've got one. And the speaker, which can be useful for diagnosing problems. We're now well on our way. Insert the graphics card and the I/O card, locating its port connectors out of the way of the other expansion slots. Next, slide in the floppy disk drive. The red stripe on the ribbon cable should align with pin 1 on the drive's connector. Before fitting the hard disk, check its jumper settings against the drive's manual or the information panel on the drive itself. Again, make sure that the red stripe on the ribbon cable aligns with pin 1. Power on the computer and use the CMOS setup program to auto-detect the characteristics of your hard disk. Then power off. We're adding a CD-ROM drive, so that can be fitted next. Connecting it to the secondary IDE socket on the motherboard. Connect the mouse and switch on. Now all you need to do is install your operating system software and favourite applications. In a very short period of time, you've built yourself a personal computer, all courtesy of PC Pro. Further information can be found in the July issue of PC Pro.